yourself become the villain.
Kal-El, no!
What if Christian Bale's Batman was in the 2017 Justice League movie? This is FanScription. The Snyder Cut is upon us. With this sometimes mythical version of the film about to hit HBO Max, I thought now was the perfect time to revisit my Christian Bale and BVS video from last year. I've gotten a lot of requests to continue that story into the Justice League movie, so you can consider this Nolan's Batman in the DCEU Part 2. I would suggest watching that video before this one. It does a lot of the groundwork for how the Dark Knight trilogy can theoretically tie into Snyder's films. To sum up where we left that story, the Batman-Superman conflict took center stage instead of the fight with Doomsday. Thus, Superman never died. Wonder Woman still debuted, but in a more limited role, and Lex Luthor was able to escape in the Kryptonian spacecraft with the half-transformed corpse of General Zod. Diana led the charge in uniting Superman and Batman after their fight, a fight that left Batman ashamed when innocents were put in danger. Bruce isn't too enthusiastic about the idea of teaming up and leaves that, along with his future as Batman, up in the air. Now from there, how does this hypothetical amalgam of these two universes move forward toward a Justice League movie? Well, there's some groundwork to be laid. In this world we're creating here, let's say we craft the DCEU a little differently. In other words, we don't just jump into a Justice League movie without the proper build-up and introduction of characters. You can call it the Marvel formula if you want, but in my opinion, it's just properly paced storytelling. So of course we know the Dark Knight trilogy, Man of Steel, our version of Batman v Superman, and Wonder Woman precede this film. But in between BVS and Justice League, we're also going to add solo movies for The Flash and Aquaman. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are essentially the same films that were actually released, but with a few tiny additions. Basically, we're just going to build up the mother boxes. Nothing too distracting, but the one in the mascara and the one in Atlantis are established as important items. The Flash movie is an origin story for Barry Allen, complete with Iris, the backstory with his parents, etc. There's no mother box tease in that one, but in both The Flash and Aquaman, a Batarang is left at the hero's home, one in Barry's apartment, and one at Arthur's father's house. These will come into play soon. Lex Luthor and his Doomsday creation have also not been heard from since fleeing the scene at the end of our BVS. This has resulted in a period of peace in which Wonder Woman and Superman have not had much communication. With all that out of the way, this is where the actual Justice League movie would begin. We open with a close-up of a mother box. It's familiar to us since we've seen two of them established in other films. Here, it's picked up quickly as red dust flies into the air. We're on Mars, in the middle of a massacre. Steppenwolf and hordes of Parademons are killing anything that moves. The Martian who picked up the mother box is shown to be J'onn J'onzz. He's sprinting with his wife and daughter to a spaceship, but Steppenwolf reaches them first and kills J'onn's family, burning them alive. J'onn screams in agony and becomes the focus of the army's attack. He races to the spaceship with the mother box in hand and is able to escape just in time.
That's right. Run, little man. Run.
We see that the spaceship is headed for Earth as the title drops on screen. On Earth, we catch up with Superman on patrol in Metropolis. He stops a petty crime and interacts positively with a few citizens. He's built up a lot of goodwill over the last couple years, and the public has fully embraced him. Out of costume, we see Clark arrive at the apartment he shares with his now wife, Lois Lane. She looks a bit concerned as he enters. After the door closes behind Clark, he sees that Lane is focused on something behind him. Clark turns around to see a Batarang embedded in the door. We cut to Gotham and the demolished ruins of Wayne Manor. It was torn down about a year ago after being condemned and not finding a buyer. Superman lands and looks upon the ruins curiously when a familiar voice is heard in the background.
You got the invitation too?
We see Diana Prince walking forward, holding up a Batarang.
Looks that way.
Good. At least I'll know someone at the party.
The Flash and Aquaman step into view. Flash is in full costume while Arthur Curry stands in civilian clothes. Superman? Holy shit!
He's a big fan. What are we doing here?
Not sure.
Diana and Clark picked up on where to look after finding their batarangs, but Arthur and Barry followed coordinates and planted into the ones left for them. The tech inside recently activated, leading them all to Wayne Manor at the same time. Superman x-rays the area and notices something strange. He steps forward and enters a hidden barrier where his senses are scrambled momentarily. The other characters follow him as he reaches the other side. They look up to see a completely rebuilt Wayne Manor. It's been reinforced as more of a fortress, and standing at the entrance is Bruce Wayne himself. Superman and Diana smirk as Arthur and Barry look a little confused. Alan whispers to Arthur,
Who is that?
That's Bruce Wayne.
"Ah." I don't know who that is. What's up with the Batman Ninja Stars? They all look annoyed at Barry. Oh, okay. Got it. Sorry.
Never thought we'd see you again.
Sorry to disappoint.
Bruce has basically turned Wayne Manor into the Hall of Justice. He's still thought dead by the world, outside of a very small number of people. Lucius Fox still runs Wayne Enterprises and helped Bruce with his new mission. After his demoralizing fight with Superman, in which Bruce discovered he was becoming the very thing he thought he was fighting against, Wayne essentially put away the suit for good and switched strategies. He wanted to take up Wonder Woman on her offer of uniting forces, but did it his way and raised it up a notch. He brought in other powered beings in The Flash and Aquaman, and has taken a backseat in terms of field work. His role now is leading the team from Wayne Manor / the Batcave in a capacity similar to Batman Beyond or Kingdom Come. This is more in line with what Alfred once told him.
The city needs Bruce Wayne. Your resources, your knowledge. It doesn't need your body or your life.
Bruce's initial goal was to locate Lex Luthor and the deformed General Zod. He came across a few leads, but has thus far been unable to locate him. He brought the team together now because he's been monitoring an incoming spacecraft of unknown origin. The ship is also giving off a strange radiation consistent with two other spots his satellites have picked up on across the Earth. Through research of ancient writings, Wayne knows some of the legend of the Mother Boxes and is filled in on the details by Wonder Woman and Aquaman. That flashback that's shown in the movie can stay in. Steppenwolf, long ago, brought the boxes together on Earth to form the Unity, but he was stopped by all who were shown in the film with the added addition of a few Martian warriors. Two of the boxes remained on Earth, while the third was entrusted to Mars, the heroes hoping they would never be brought together again. We see that the spaceship Bruce is monitoring enters Earth's atmosphere. He says it will land in the ocean off Coast City. Superman and the Flash speed over to the location, while Bruce suggests Wonder Woman and Aquaman take his new jet prototype, the Javelin. They all arrive to see the spacecraft crash land into the ocean, creating a huge wave. Several ships in the water are shown to be in immediate danger, and the new team joins together to save them. Although it's a bit of a shaky rescue. This is the first time they're all combining forces after all. Aquaman dives deeper into the water and searches the submerged spaceship for signs of life, but there don't seem to be any. A pulse is then sent through the water that greatly affects Arthur's senses. Even Superman can feel it above the surface. Aquaman follows it to see the Martian from earlier barely moving and clutching a mother box. He brings him to shore where the team surrounds the alien. The Martian fades in and out of consciousness before completely blacking out. The pulse is picked up by Steppenwolf's forces on a ship far off in space. Jean's craft was cloaked from their sensors after he escaped, but the Mother Box, now close to its counterparts on Earth, has reawakened and alerted the disciple of Darkseid.
Earth? The fool. He's done our job for us.
Steppenwolf was waiting to attack Earth because of the emergence of Superman, but with the Mother Box already there, he sets his sights on the blue planet and orders his minions to prepare a boom tube portal to travel to our world. J'onn J'onzz awakens several days later in the Batcave. The Justice League is all there to see him regain consciousness. After an off-color joke from the Flash about J'onn's alien looks, the Martian changes his appearance to one we're a bit more familiar with and explains his backstory. Steppenwolf pretty much killed off his entire race on Mars, including his own family. Now inconsolable and full of guilt, he feels he's done his duty by delivering the Mother Box to Earth's protectors. It's their problem now. The one who shows the most compassion for J'onn and his situation is actually Bruce. He relates to Jean's pain and the temptation to abdicate his duty. They're really the heartbeat of the film, as Wayne does his best to convince the Martian that Earth's people are worth saving, and that the League is in desperate need of his help. To test his intentions, there's a scene where Jean uses his telepathy to dive deep into Bruce's psyche. I would want this to be a highlight of the film, maybe 5 solid minutes of Bruce's greatest victories and defeats, using footage from the Dark Knight trilogy all the way up to the present. The Martian sees that Wayne's been through more than his fair share of pain, but concludes that by hiding behind his fake death and not being among the people he claims to love, he's not practicing what he preaches. Jean decides to leave the Mother Box in the care of the Justice League and exits the manor. We see him land in a populated city, take on the appearance of a human, and disappear into the crowd. From here, the action picks up. The League prepares for Steppenwolf's arrival, and we get 2 huge sequences where he attempts to take the Mother Boxes. The first is underwater in Atlantis. Aquaman has all his forces together to defend the box, and we get some phenomenal action, akin to the Aquaman movie. In the end, though, Steppenwolf is able to escape with that Mother Box. The second big sequence pits all the Amazons plus Flash and Superman against Steppenwolf and his horde of endless Parademons as they defend the Mother Box on the Mascara. Through all this, Bruce is directing traffic from the Batcave and using bat drones to help with the attack. At the end of this battle, Superman and the Flash are temporarily taken out of commission as Wonder Woman is defeated by Steppenwolf in a one-on-one battle. He takes the Mother Box and leaves through a boom tube. The third Mother Box is still in the Batcave, where Bruce thinks it's safely hidden because of his cloaking technology. However, the boxes become unpredictable since Steppenwolf's arrival. After the other 2 are brought together, the third sends out another pulse that leads to Steppenwolf boom-tubing his way into the Batcave alone. He thinks he can handle this one by himself. When he shows up, the cave looks empty. There's no sign of Bruce or the Mother Box. When things seem too quiet, the cave's new defense systems kick in and attack Steppenwolf. He's easily able to brush them off, but out of the damage-fueled smoke steps Bruce in a new high-tech batsuit. I'm thinking Kingdom Come crossed with Batman Beyond. It's basically the next step up from the suit he used to fight Superman. The preceding battle is surprisingly even for a while. Batman even knocks the villain's helmet off. But eventually, Steppenwolf gains the upper hand. He finds the Mother Box and rips off Bruce's Batman helmet, holding him by his neck high in the air. With Superman and the Flash down and out on the Mascara, there's no one left to help him. But when Steppenwolf starts to squeeze Wayne's head right off his shoulders, he falls to the ground in intense pain and anguish. Bruce is free and looks to see the Martian Manhunter using his telepathy to mentally assault the would-be conqueror. It's so severe that Steppenwolf can barely move. The helmet that Batman knocked off his head protected him from the Martian's psychic attacks when he invaded Mars. Without it, he's at Jean's mercy. Martian Manhunter uses his shape-shifting powers and adds to this onslaught with a physical attack that leaves Steppenwolf gravely injured. Before a killing blow is struck, a boom tube opens with Parademons rescuing their commander. Steppenwolf screams in defeat as he's reluctantly taken away. Without the third Mother Box, there is no unity to terraform the Earth, and the villain is sent back to Darkseid, humiliated. Jean reveals that in the short few days he spent among the people of Earth, he knows they're worth saving. The undying spirit of human beings is exemplified in Batman, and that is what he hopes to emulate as he moves forward with the pain of his loss to create a better future. The rest of the League finally get back to the cave and see the damage along with Jean's return. The Justice League now has 6 members. In the aftermath of this battle, it's known that Darkseid himself will eventually come for Earth and the third Mother Box, but the Justice League will be there to stop him. For now, the members go back to their daily lives. This includes Jean once again taking a human form and blending in among his adoptive home, and Bruce Wayne returning to public life after being thought dead for years. He restarts the Wayne Charity Foundation and aims to help the orphans of his city, as was his intention at the end of The Dark Knight Rises. We finish with a shot of the League standing together. A narration from Bruce mentions that the team is made up of aliens, gods, humans, and more, but they're united in the goal of defending the Earth and are ready for whatever comes next. In an after-credit scene, we see Lex Luthor monitoring the newly formed League. In the background, we see a heavily shadowed Doomsday unconscious in a stasis pod. Luthor is just waiting in the wings for his perfect time to strike. And there you have it. This was a fun episode to put together. Adapting the main plot from the Justice League movie into a slightly different story worked to our advantage, mostly because in our version of the DCEU, we'd have some build-up in previous films. I replaced Cyborg with Martian Manhunter here, and having him directly tied into the third Mother Box, I think made for a solid origin without needing to give him his own film. Traditionally, there are 7 members of the Justice League, and if I were to keep going with this, I'd have that spot taken by Green Lantern, who would have his own movie following this one. I'm not sure if it'd be Hal Jordan or John Stewart, though. There are big positives to having both characters mixed in here, but maybe we'll find out next time if you guys want another one of these. If you do, make sure to let me know in the comments and tell me how you would have told this particular story. As always, make sure to check out our podcast feed for audio versions of all our episodes. Share this video if you liked it, take a look at some of our other episodes, and come on back next time for a brand new episode of FanScription.